Hey guys, and welcome to today's video. Today I'm gonna share my experience at Fitcon 2021 in Utah. So first off, Fitcon is a fitness convention, probably tell by the name. And so first, I don't know how many years it's been going on now. I want to say, because the first time I went to Fitcon, I wasn't even interested in fitness yet. It was like a year before I actually started working out and like being really interested in fitness and becoming a fitness enthusiast. That's what I call myself. And I want to say that was like their first or second year of doing Fitcon, and that was about 5 years ago. So yeah, give or take like a year or two for that. I mean, I really don't know. The reason why I went to Fitcon was I was actually working a booth there. At the time, I was working for a matchmaker, and so we set up a booth called the Love Experts. Basically, our pitch was you have a coach for the gym, let us be your dating coaches. So yeah, that's why I went. But when I was there, I was like, this is really cool. I love the whole like vibe that was there, even though it wasn't something that I could relate. Hey, so it's another day. For whatever reason, that last clip just cut off, and I don't know why it cut off. Anyway, so I'm gonna fill in what I was saying, but I did have to film this video in 2 days, so here we are. So even though I wasn't in that world of being into fitness myself, I really loved the vibes, and I saw these two women who were like, I could just see they're just friends hanging out. They both were pushing their strollers, wearing their cute like athletic wear, and just walking. They look like they're just having fun, just hanging out together. And I was like, that looks like so much fun. So now here is my turn I got to do that this year with my friend, just minus a stroller thing. I mean, we did have our kids like that first day, but like the second day was just us. And so I like got to fulfill like that little image of these two women just walking around, enjoying their time. So let's see, that was 2016 is when the first time I went. And then it wasn't until 2017 is when I got into fitness. And then it was end of 2019 is when I was really like serious, like, okay, I want to start like an apparel brand, like because I started my degree in fashion design like more than 10 years ago. I didn't finish, there's a story there. But it's something I've always thought I'd come back to at some point. And so I started like looking up on YouTube how to pattern make, and I already knew how to sew, and I had some skills there. I'm a serger, I had a sewing machine. I bought a top stitch machine. Yeah, so I was just kind of working on getting things started with my own brand and just making things myself. And then just kind of seeing where that took me. So it was end of 2019 is when I was looking into having a booth at the 2020 Fitcon in Salt Lake at the Salt Palace. And like looking at how much booths were, and like also trying to figure out, well, how much stuff can I make between now and then? Because I need to because I know that Gymshark got their start by doing a lot of shows and going to like different conventions and stuff like that. And so I thought, okay, I'm willing to do that. It's just for me, like I'm making my own product for the time being until I can like prove it and kind of gain like a customer base. And so there is that of like trying to figure out how many things I can even sell, or it's like, do I just figure out like 2 tops and just have a bunch of those in a few colors and kind of throw spaghetti at the wall? I don't know. But then with COVID happening, it was canceled anyways. And so even before COVID, I was like, okay, you know what I'll do? I'll just go to Fitcon, okay? I won't worry about having a booth this year. It's kind of expensive to have a booth, especially since like I don't even know what I'm doing yet. So I'll go in 2020, and then in 2021 is when I'll have a booth. But yeah, COVID happened, things were all canceled and like postponed and everything. And so now we're here. Okay, now it's 2021, and the vaccine's out. I'm fully vaccinated. I have been for a few weeks before going to Fitcon. What they were gonna do is it was me in the Salt Palace up in Salt Lake. Instead, they did it at this park in Lehigh, which I thought was like a good, like happy medium when it comes to like, okay, let's give people this social distancing outside, because the current like mandates in place and recommendations, like I saw this chart from my like city newsletter. Basically, it's like there's an unvaccinated portion and then there's a vaccinated portion when it comes to like indoors, and like to outdoors. Like there's like a range of like scenarios, and they're like saying whether you need to be masked or not. And so I thought I don't know, it was just nice that it was outdoors and it was fun, you know. They had, kids were free to come in, and so they had like a kids zone set up with like some water stuff. And so on Friday we took our kids and they got to play, and then on Saturday was our day to be kidless and just go shopping and have fun. Friday, we didn't do much, but because we were only there for like 2 hours, and then we went home and got our kids settled and everything. Our plan was to go back and do like the high fitness at 8:30 at night. When we were planning on what we were doing, like a few weeks ahead, I was like, well, I want to go to high fitness, but I'm really worried about how hot it's gonna be. And even though it was at night, I still wasn't sure. Well, the day before all this, I actually was out in the sun all day with my kids having fun playing water, and then I got very little sleep that night, and so I was beat. So we didn't end up going back. Between me being I could have gone alone, because my friend had things pop up too, so she couldn't go back, and I would have gone alone, but I was just so tired. I'm like, you know what, I know it's gonna be so much fun, but I just couldn't do it. And I wasn't gonna make myself, you know, I was like, I'm happy here. Then on Saturday, like I mentioned, it was our day. Like, I got so excited, I got in the car, I'm like, I get to go out and do something during the day without my kid. Like, that's not normal, you know? Like, normally when I like hang out with friends or just have like me time, it's typically like 7-8 p.m. at night, you know. I'm like, hey friends, want to go get some dinner at 8 o'clock? You know, like that's typically what we would do. So it's just unique having this time during the day, and not only just like an hour too. It was like we were gone like all day. It was so great. I think we planned to be there by like 10:30 and left at like a little after 4. And so yeah, it was a great time just to hang out and check everything out, and just really like, because this is a new friend of mine, and I'm not saying her name just out of privacy. I don't know, like she knows I want to start like a channel, and she's like really supportive of it and everything. And well, anyways, but just privacy things. But I do have some videos of her, so maybe she'll let me put those up. We'll see. But this is a new friend of mine. We both moved to the city around the same time, and then because of COVID and everything, weren't really meeting neighbors and stuff like that. But yeah, so we've known each other for like at least a month now, I think. I don't know. And so this was like a really fun time to spend together, get to know each other and bond, and it was so much fun. Because I knew I wanted to go Fitcon, but I was also just like, who should I go with? Because I have friends who would go with me. I just wanted to like them not be bored if they don't have all the same interest in the shopping and the panels and everything, because they had different panels. We went to 2, but I'll get to those in a moment. But yeah, so she's really into fitness. Like she's working on getting her CPT, and so that's something that I want to do too. So it's just like fun to have someone who's like in the same stage even, because I thought, well, she's starting her studying, maybe I should start mine. But no, I'm waiting till fall. I'm waiting for my kids to be in school. That way I can like have time dedicated, like uninterrupted, to work on that. Speaking of uninterrupted, I need to leave in like 7 minutes to go pick up my kids from their dance class. That's not gonna be enough time to finish this. So let's see so I do have a separate video for like my clothing haul and all the clothing that I bought, and then all my supplement stuff too. So I won't go over that right now, but they had a lot of really fun things set up. They had like this huge bike ramp that even like I think he was like 9 or 12 or 11, like a kid going down. It was really impressive. They had like knights, like literally like in armor. I don't know, maybe they're not knights, I don't know, but they were in armor and like fighting. It was really impressive. That was a lot of fun. They had a boxing, we didn't watch the boxing. There was a Diesel Brothers like demonstration with one of their reveals. That was fun. Roll clip. Yeah, so I sent a video of that to my dad, and sure enough, he like knew who these guys were. I didn't know who they were beforehand. And that was really fun. And oh, also for like the kids zone, like this is just funny. One of the one of the bounce houses that was supposed to have water, it didn't. For whatever, I'm just guessing they didn't have, I don't think they forgot to add water. I just am guessing that they didn't have access for like 2 of their slides to have it. So my friend and I took matters in our own hands and we refilled it ourselves. We found like a random plastic tote that we can fill with water and dumped it in because it was really hot for the kids, and that was fun. They also had like food trucks, churros were there, Diablo churros. Like, I see them everywhere when I go places. This is so great. They're really great at putting themselves out there at like stuff like this. So check them out. They're really, really tasty churros, especially if you're in the area specifically. They might have kits for shipping. I'm not sure. I saw that they had like kits for sale when it came to making churros at home. So that was cool. Check those out. Let's see what else besides shopping, because I was just really excited for the panels and to go shopping. So the first panel we went to was like a strong women panel, and hindsight, I should have known like, oh, it's a panel. You gotta ask questions, I think, right? Isn't that like a typical thing with panels, is you come with questions? I didn't think about that. And so there's that. I wasn't prepared. And some of the questions people were asking like I didn't relate to, and so it's fine. It was still fun to like see these women, these strong women, and to like hear them and everything, and just kind of talk about important stuff. But then the second panel we went to was 100K your business. And I wasn't sure what they meant by that. I wasn't sure, does that mean like as an influencer, as a product base, as a personal trainer, as a group fit, like as a trainer, just like online or in person? Like I just could see it going in so many different directions. And a lot of that can apply to me. But I was more focused on product type stuff because that's where I'm at, like developing products. And that was the type of thing they were talking about. So it was perfect. I mean, they did talk about a little about influencer marketing and using yourself to like brand yourself. Like you have you as your person, but also your own brand, and like kind of, anyways. So it was good. It was a pretty good panel. I asked one question and they didn't really have any. I mean, I got an answer. Maybe I don't know. I got an answer for it, but it was also just like, I don't know. So here's my question. It was, when getting things manufactured overseas, how do you vet factories when it comes to being ethical and like safe work environments? And initially the panel, everyone was silent and no one was like jumping to answer that question. So I wasn't really sure how to take that. It was because they did have answers. Okay. It's just that initial, like they weren't prepared for that. I don't know. But I did get some good answers for it. Like one guy was like, well, we've flown out there and we've checked it out ourselves. But one indication without flying out is if a price is just too low, that's going to be a sign that it's probably not a great factory to work with, you know? And so I thought that was like really interesting, like a good way to help point out, a con in a factory for those who can't just fly out to like check them out yourself. And then there are some third party, people who, I don't know. I'll have to see if I can figure it out. If I can remember who it was, I guess I can email them. Okay, so back before COVID all happened, there's this place, and it's still going on. It's called Tangible. It's like this e-commerce school. So if you have an idea for a business, it's basically like they teach you like from start to finish how to like launch your product. Okay, even I think they even might talk about manufacturing. I can't remember exactly, but I've never participated or paid for their schooling. It's just I've gone to their free workshops because they have very valuable workshops that they were doing before COVID, and they were all in person, and it was great networking opportunities, stuff like that. Like like rags to rashes. Like freaking Rachel was there and like presenting at one point, and so I went and like I wanted to watch her presentation, and I got to talk to her, and it was really, really cool. So great networking opportunity there. But one of the times I went, they had like a presenter who does third-party manufacturing, like vetting. So it's like you pay, I can't remember how much it was. You pay up front, or I'm not sure how it all works out, I guess, but they're the ones doing all the vetting, but then they can be like that middleman of like pairing. So if I wanted to go to them and be like, hey, I'm looking to manufacture athletic wear and this and this, and give them details, then they can like pair me up with a factory, and again, they do the vetting. I have also talked to different people myself of those who manufacture. I went to a vendor event quite some time ago, and there's these pajamas that I bought. Where are those pajamas? Anyways, and I talked to them. I'm like, well, do you guys make them yourself? Like, where do you get them? And they actually gave me their contact information for someone who, again, is like the middleman between the factories. And then I knew someone else who had another contact. And so there are people out there who are just solely themselves, like helping pair people up. And then there's actual like a full-on business model, like where there's like computer interface even that where you're using it, like that one that's Tangible. I'll have to like email them and Tangible and ask them who that was, and I'll put that down below because it's useful information. And then another suggestion was, you know, just asking people, you know, and yeah, because like pardon me, like Gold Elite, you guys. So spoiler for like my clothing haul, Gold Elite, they have a tank top. It's just beautifully made. Like I'm like looking at all the stitching, and it's just like so nicely made. I wonder if she would share with me. I don't know her though, so that's the problem. I don't know her, so, and I wouldn't fault her for being like, I'm not gonna share my factory, you know, because it's like a hard place to be in too, to be like, well, yeah, this is where I get. One, she had to figure it out herself to a degree, right? And then two, it's like there's that worry of, am I gonna then go rip off her stuff? You know, that's what my mind would go through. So I don't blame anyone for just not wanting to be open about where they get things manufactured, because there's a few reasons there. So I'm trying to think about what else we did. I mean, we did the panel. The last thing we did was go to that 100K Your Business panel. They also had really good advice, and I'm just gonna put it out there right now, you know, like, cause I have not a lot of subscribers, and I don't really have a customer base because with COVID and randomly moving out of nowhere last fall, I really haven't worked on my clothing at all. So what I'm going to be starting to do is I'm going to start doing studio vlogs of me working on things. More on all that later. This video is already really long. And I'm going to be I'm getting to work again. I'm really excited. I'm really motivated and excited. So I am going to start at least like working on patterns and just fine-tuning things. Really excited about that, and I will be sharing my process. But one really cool advice too during the 100K Your Business is, hey, when you go to conventions like this and like you're like having a booth, have like an influencer there to draw people to your booth, because, and I got to email Fitcon and ask them about this too, because they had like a whole section of like all, like if I was just to be a vendor and just pay like just the vendor fee and have a booth, there's a section for all of that. But then there was a few spots where they had like a spot like for those vendors who had a special guest. They were in a different area, so I don't know if that's like significantly more money or what, or if I could just have like a small time person in my booth in like the other area, because you need to think about the line, because those few booths right there, like, dude, like their lines were so long, and they were seeing so many people between Friday and Saturday because they had someone to draw them in, and they probably got more sales for that reason too. And so that's something I'm kind of like putting out into the universe of, okay, within reason, like who can I get to come and be at my booth, because they're telling us to do it, and I would love to do that. I think that's it. That's what I wanted to share of my experience. Like it was just so much fun. I will have like a blog post for all these videos too, just to in case I forget something that I want to add, more details, more links, more photos. Who really knows? So this is the first video. This is my overall experience. My next video will be like all the snacks and like supplement type things that I tried and purchased. Then the third video will be my clothing haul. I should be wearing one of the tops, but I'm not. And then the fourth video is related to Fitcon, but not. Like, it's something that it was this gimmicky thing. I like gimmicky things. I think that's fun and interesting. And I tried it at Fitcon. I didn't like it, but then like I was like, because it was like a workout thing, right? It's a workout gimmicky thing. But then the next day I was like, okay, no, I can feel it. I can feel it. So now I want to research the science behind it. And so it's not a Fitcon video, but I found them because of Fitcon, and I'm just curious to see what I'm going to find because it's really interesting. So yeah, you have that to look forward to. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you later.